strangers. I'm Nick Allen. I'm a photographer, and I want to start a new series called Portrait Stories. So what my plan is with these is take a photo I've done, a portrait, piece of artwork, and explain the backstory, show you what the photo looks like raw out of the camera, show tweaks I did in Adobe Lightroom, show things that I did in Photoshop, and my whole process. Tell a little backstory with the image, with the subject, with everything that kind of went into it, with my vision, my style, my artwork, and everything like that. So the first portrait story we have is of a high school senior kid named Dylan, and he is wanting to be an aviator. He wants to be a commercial airline pilot when he gets out of school, and so we came up with an idea to get an airplane. And he knows a family that owns a ranch that they use an airplane to actually herd their cattle, to go check on their cattle and everything. So it was south of Cody, Wyoming, and in the middle of nowhere, a huge ranch that we went out to. So this is Dylan's portrait story. So one of the first things that I had to figure out is how I was going to compose the shot. We waited till sunset. We were doing a lot of stuff about an hour before sunset, but the main shot I knew I wanted was the sun right on the horizon, peeking out just over the mountains. I find it's really hard to do a portrait when you have something in the shot that is a large object, such as a horse or a car or an airplane, because for me, the portrait and the person in the shot is the most important thing. And we don't want the subject to be too small and be lost in the image. So an airplane is quite a big object. So I played around with my angles a lot, trying to be able to get what I wanted to have Dylan stand out. So we had him standing away from the side of the airplane, and I shot with a wide angle lens. I believe this was my 17 to 40 millimeter lens. Let me adjust this a little bit. And I used one or two lights on this setup. I can't remember exactly, but we ended up setting a light up and shining it on him. And then some of these shots, we actually took the light and walked around and did some extra shots, popping the flash on the airplane itself. So here is the final shot, but this is the raw out of the camera shot. So one of the biggest things that you'll see is that the colors and the sky is completely different. We were unfortunate enough that we did not have any clouds in the sky that night, but my vision was I wanted that epic shot. I wanted that shot to be that wow, amazing shot. So composition, lighting, mood, everything was gonna take place to be able to create the image I wanted. So I took the raw image, and then in Lightroom I tweaked it around a bit. Changed the brightness, contrast, clarity. I did a little bit of gradient up here in the sky to give it a little bit of color in there, and did a little bit of dodging and burning to be able to get some of the shadows and the detail there. So once I got everything in Lightroom where I wanted to, I did my edits in Photoshop, cleared up any skin that needed to be retouched, and more color tones and grading with that. But then the biggest thing that you can see is the sky. I felt this needed to have an awesome sky in it. So it was too smooth for me having no clouds in there. So I actually took this image from about a month previous of a sunset that had some amazing clouds in the sky. So I was able to put the clouds over, create a mask, and blend it in to the image to create the details in the clouds that I wanted. My approach with most of my portraits is not to go for ultra realism. I want to go for a mood. I want to go for a feeling. When you look at an image, that it will emotionally connect to you. And so if I took the raw image and I just try to make it as real as possible, it would be really neat and cool, but it didn't give the feeling of us being there. There's a magic in there when the sun's going down, you're taking photos, even though the clouds and everything weren't there. This gives the mood and the feeling, the drama that I wanted. So I'm illustrating a portrait. I am wanting to have you guys emotionally connect with it and say, wow, look at that. His desire to be a pilot and the power that he has in his passion for this is what I wanted to illustrate with the final product. So this is the final image right here. But then I also do a lot of artistic stuff that tries to take it to the next level. I like images that have a painterly feel, have an artistic feel, and it's a style that I've taken about 15 years of my photography career to evolve into what it is now. So going from the image here and having then this final image with the border and the textures and a little bit more drama to it. When I print my images, and all my images are meant to be printed and enjoyed and to be artwork in a home. When I do that, I never put glass on anything. And one of the things I feel finishes an image is having a border to it. I don't matte or put glass on anything, and so my border around here just has an extra layer of dimension and depth to the image that I feel finishes it off and makes it display absolutely amazing. This looks great for campus gallery wrap. It looks great in a nice elegant frame. It looks great on acrylic and metal. So putting the border on there, but then I did an overlay of some textures to just give it an extra grunge feel, an extra artistic feel. The depth to the image has layer upon layer upon layer, especially when we put a frame around it, that the finished product goes from frame to the border to the textures to the background to the foreground, but everything draws you into the subject, Dylan. And I love the attitude in his face. I love how he is looking off, having that strength, that confidence in there, and everything I did to this image goes to show Dylan's passion and his confidence that he has. So that's Dylan's portrait story. Hopefully the first of many to come. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.